Hi everyone, it's Bobbie. I have completed my next project that I want to share with you. This is using the Retro Men, one of the newer collections by Craft Creations. It is such a pretty paper. It's got a lot of browns, creams, teals. I covered my spine with some fabric, some burlap that I had in my stash, and I just used the design paper on the front and the back, and I left it very simple. This I'm going to give to my nephew because he's the only one in the family right now who has small children who are really too young to buy him a Father's Day present, so I thought this would be something I could give him from the kids. And when they're older, they'll buy him their own gift, but for right now they're very small, 4 and 2 and 7. So this will be his Father's Day present this year. And I dropped it and I kind of mashed my corner. It's salvageable though. Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, I have one of the cut-aparts on the front cover. I used the die from the Graphic 45 clock for this little feature and for the greenery. I didn't want to put flowers or bows or anything feminine on there. And I had a Tim Holtz card that said cherish, so I added that to the front. So each of my pages is different than anything I've done before, and I'm really pleased with it. This little pocket on the inside front cover. Now I don't have anything in it because I don't have the right size of Graphic 45 tags for it, but I'll show you. I have one. I had to steal this out of another project just so I could show you. It opens this way and then it accordions. Let me lift it up so you can see inside of it. It accordions out with 4 pockets, and this regular size tag will fit in it perfectly, and it still will close. So I've got to order some more of those, but I thought that was so cute, and he can put a lot of photos and memorabilia in there. And I just used another one of the ephemera that she had as a cutout, and a few leaves and a little bit more burlap there. On this page, this is page 1. This is just a small flap with a pocket, and I've got 2 small Graphic 45 tags in here for photos and journaling. I added a little greenery in another one of her cut-aparts, and I made a little flag, and then I put Dad on a piece of pink cardstock and cut it out in a heart shape and put it in the middle of the little arrow. Then on the back side of that page is a pocket, and we have a double photo mat on this side and a large one on this side. And I had this, I used a die to cut out this greenery, and this silver is from Kraft Creations. Let me tell you what it's called. It's Nouveau. It's this Nouveau embellishment mousse, and it is Mother of Pearl is the name of the color. It gets all over your fingers, but it wipes off with a baby wipe real easy. And then this little dimensional thing I had, it's clear, and I put a piece of white behind it so that you could actually see the words, and it says, "Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away." And I've seen that before, and I thought that was such a pretty phrase. Then in this little pocket, this is all about the dog. It says "Man, best friend," and I cut this out from one of the cut-aparts and made a little pocket where he can put a picture of Blue in there and some journaling. And then here's a picture of Luke and Blue together, and I just put it on a small G45 tag to stick in that pocket. And then I have another little photo mat here, and I have pictures of Jackson and Wyatt with Blue that I'm going to attach to that. But I wanted to leave most of the pictures blank so that you could get a visual of what it would look like with your own pictures. Then on the back side of that page, I have 2 photo mats, and this is the one with the it's got plaid on one side, and it's got the milkman and all of that on the reverse side. And I made a little pocket over here. I have 2 more of the tags, and this is just a little belly band with the milk truck on the front, and then it opens with a magnet. I think this is the only magnet I've got in it. And this is, I don't know if I left, no I didn't. Well, you could get something small under there, but not real big. And then I have these little tags that I made out of the cardstock from not Graphic 45, from Country Craft Creations. It's the craft color, and it folds out this way, so you've got 3 more tags in there. Folds up like that, and then there's a tag back behind, and I made a little banner. This one's a lot longer. I made a banner here. And then we flip over and we have the Brill Cream. It's all the barber stuff. The Brill Cream, the little vest, scissors, a razor. I have a double photo mat here with just cut out some strips and added buttons. And on this side we have a pocket. And I found these little printouts free on the internet. It's just got the barbershop prices. And then I made a little folder. And this is Wyatt when he had his hair cut, and I put the word attitude down there. Because look at him, doesn't he look like he's got an attitude? And I had this pair of scissors in my stash. And this is just a little booklet. The rest of it's plain, so he can add more photos. Just like that, and then on the back. So there's room for lots of more photos. I put this on top of it when I slide it in, so I don't take a chance on knocking these letters off. They are glued, but they haven't been on there very long, so I don't want to knock them off. We have another little flag at the top with the barber pole and the shaving brush. Then we flip it over to the fishing page, and we have Jackson with the first fish he caught, and I just used some twine I had in my stash to make this little piece of fish net, and these were free printables on the internet. And then we have another pocket over here, but this is a smaller version, and it opens, and there's 3 little expandable folders in this one. And I found a kid's fishing license, and I put Jackson's picture on it with his name. And then this one says, "Gone fishing, be back at dark 30." And I put a little clip here. It keeps wanting to tuck up under the pocket. And it has a lure hanging on it. And I had this little, I guess it's I don't know what you call the wheel on a boat, the steering wheel, I guess, I don't know. But that's what that is, and I just hung that on there. And it just wraps back around. And that is my album. Whoa! My little backdrop's falling. That is my album. I am so happy with it, and I know he's going to love it. I didn't put a ribbon closure on it because you can see it's going to stay closed by itself. And I didn't want to get it too girly. So, there you go. That's what I had to share with you. I hope you all love it. Send me some comments and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye now. Hi guys, it's Bobbie. Excuse me. Got a bit of a frog here this morning. I just wanted to share with you how I'm getting started on this Retro Man album. I attached my score tape. Goodness. Can't clear my throat. I attached my score tape to the chipboard like we always do. But then I cut a 4 3/4 inch strip of this muslin I had in my stash. And I used the score tape to attach it. I wrapped it to I didn't take it all the way off because I wanted to make sure it was going to work before I added any design paper, because I don't want to ruin the paper. The chipboard I can replace easier. The paper, no, not so much. So on the inside, I wrapped it to the inside, and I used Mod Podge too. I painted Mod Podge here and brought this to the inside, and then I just put a little extra Mod Podge right here to make sure it stayed in the grooves. And then I've got my score tape in the middle, so when I put my piece on the inside, which is right here, I'm trying not to handle it too much because I don't want to fray it out real bad, but my muslin's going to go right here, and the score tape will hold it in the center, but I'm not trusting it to hold it at the top and the bottom, so I am going to add some Mod Podge here, and that will be the cover. Let's see, my score tape's buckling, but the album folds just fine, and it makes a nice, really good cover. So I really like that, and I think that'll add to the masculine flair. So I'm waiting on this to get good and dry. Then I'll add that piece to the center and add my papers, and then I'll come back and touch base with you. Okay, I want to share with you what I have done on the cover so far. When I was with you last time, I still had the protective cover on the score tape, and I told you at the time I didn't want to add design paper until I knew this part was going to work, because I didn't want to waste my paper. So I did get this to work. I used the score tape on the outside, and it worked just fine. It held it down perfectly, and then when I folded it to the inside, I used Mod Podge like I showed you. The problem came when I went to add the fabric to the inside, which I really wanted to do. It stuck fine here where I had the score tape, but I couldn't get the glue or score tape to work fabric on fabric. It just would not hold up no matter what I did. So I searched through all of my papers, and in the My Colors collection that Tammy has, I found that I had some called muslin, and so I added that to the inside, and it worked just perfectly, and it matches just fine with this. So I used that, and then I wrapped the front with the plaid, and you can see it didn't crack or anything all the way around. It made really nice corners. And then I used the paper with the cars on the back. Then I cut a 1/4 inch strip of the dark brown Artisan and just ran it along where the two come together, front and back, and just wrapped it to the inside. So that'll all be covered. None of that will show. So that so far is the cover. I tentatively think I might use this on the cover. I'm not sure. It just says Father, a noun, keeper of the wallet, coach of all sports, teacher of many things. See also role model. That's cute. And I just triple matted it with the muslin and the dark brown. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on the cover or not, but I might. So let's look at the page layout. You're going to need 2 pieces of 12 by 12, and you'll cut them both off at 8 inches, so you'll have 2 pieces that are 8 tall, 12 long. And you're going to score the first one at 3 inches, then at 8.5, and 9.5. Then the second one, you're going to score at, I got it written upside down. You're going to score at 5.5 and 6, all the way down. And that will make the second part of the insert. Then when you cut these down to 8, you're going to have a 4-inch strip off of each piece, like this. Take one of those strips and cut it down to 8 inches. And then put yourself a tick mark at 1.5 inches at the top and bottom. And I'll show you where that's going to go. Get these pieces out of my way. Let me burnish these folds so I can show you. So we need to burnish these. Match them up. I like that other one better. Where did I find it? I'm not sure. Oh, there it is, under my ruler. This is my favorite burnishing tool. It really gives nice, crisp creases. And then we'll fold this one in. This will actually be page 1. When you make your tick marks, this is actually on the 1.5 inch mark, is going to attach to the back side of this. That will extend out your page and give you a pocket here. Then this is actually your spine. This one will sit in the middle of the spine, and we'll go this way, and this way. And we're going to have many pieces that are inserted, but they're actually going to sit on top of the pages so that you don't lose all of the paper. I mean, the paper is just so gorgeous, you just hate to cover it up. So that is the game plan. So what you want to do, first thing you want to do once you get all burnished, is attach these two pieces together. And then I'm going to decorate the base pages, because I find that it's easier to get a good burnish while it's flat. And once I have them both, the base papers added, then I will line this up on my scoreboard with these two score marks. And if you put it right at the top of your scoreboard like this, so that it lays nice and straight, then you can center these two score marks between these. This is 5.5 and 6.5, and this is only a 1/2 inch. So you can put it 5 3/4 to 6 1/4. That gives you a margin over here, and gives you a margin over here. Actually, it could go just a little bit to the left. And that way it will be straight. It's easy to line it up that way. And you'll just glue the two together. Alright, that's it. I'm going to cut out some papers and I'll be back. Okay guys, I just want to let you know I've decided to make a little bit of a change. Not in the way we cut or scored. Remember, we attached this so there would be a pocket here. And then this was going to go inside. But see how that works? It doesn't, I don't like that staggering. So, if I turn it around this way, with this add-on piece in the front, then I have the layers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I like that better. So that's the way I'm going to put it together. I just wanted to show you that. I've started cutting a few papers, and I'll be back with you again after I get some more cut and show you the placement of the papers. Alright, be right back. Alrighty guys, time for another progress report. Here is where I am at. This is the first page of the insert that goes inside the album cover. This one has a pocket on it, and I don't know how much of this I've already shown you, so I might be repeating myself. But I used the plaid paper, cut out a couple of little banners, and I had a die that cuts out this heart and arrow, and I cut it a second time in pink and just cut the arrows off. And I had printed that on a piece of pink paper, and I just cut out the heart part and glued it on there, and I added some Nouveau glaze. And then this one has a little pocket in it, just an old scrap of paper. And I added one of the cut-aparts and a couple little sprigs of greenery that I had a die for. Then on the inside is where we had this pocket, and I only have one insert in it so far, but you can see it's roomy. You can get more in it. And I have a double spread on this side and a single over here. And I'll probably put more inserts in here. Then, and you do want to make sure when you add that 4-inch piece that you get it glued down good so that this insert doesn't come through, because it's right under here. Okay, on this page, I showed you how to make this little pocket. I remember that. And I just cut out the man's best friend. This is from one of the cut-aparts, and I just cut it all up and positioned it. I did put a little black splatter ink or paint on it. And inside I have a picture mat. And I'm going to give this to my grandson who has 3 kids. I think he will really enjoy this. And he has a dog named Blue. And Blue's old and not in real good health, and he probably won't be with us terribly much longer. So got a really good picture of him with Blue I'm going to put here. And then he can document something about Blue. And then behind it, there is a little tag. We can put more pictures of Blue. And I just have this in there as a stopper for now, but I'll put something else in there. And then when you flip it over, I use the plaid paper that's got the orange and teal in it. And I used the plaid over here, and I just cut myself an L-shaped border here and then inserted 2 photo mats. and I just fussy cut some of the images off the back side of this paper. Is the milkman and the milk trucks on one side and the plaids on the other, so I just flipped it over and cut some of the images out and used them here. And I just used a circle die that I had to back that green milk disc. Then on this one, I wanted to show you how I folded this so that if you want to recreate it, you'll know how I did it. So I cut out the milk truck, and that's going to go on top of this band. It's going to be loose so you can put a little photo mat under there. And I just used a die that I had that would do this rickrack border, and I just finger pressed it around the edges so that it wouldn't be too tight. And that's going to be my mat for that. But this is how I folded it. This measures, let me give you a measurement on it. It measures about 10 5/8. About 10 5, oh no, wait a minute, 10 1/2. I didn't have it all the way to the left edge. 10 1/2 by, I think it's 4 3/4. 10 1/2 by 4 3/4. Then I just folded it, and it turned out at 3 1/2, like that. And then I folded this to the inside. Score it really, really well. Then you'll come back and you'll punch your notches on section 1 and 2. And on section 3, you're going to fold one corner down, and I just eyeballed it. And I'm going to put paper here, so this first fold I made, I didn't think it was down far enough, so I folded it a second time. So once I add design paper to it, that little second fold won't show. But I'm going to attach it here, and you can attach it either this way and have an insert here, or you can attach it this way and have an insert from the side, whichever you want to do. I'm not sure which way I'm going to do it just yet, but then it'll fold out like that. And I am going to put a magnet in here. I'm going to put my magnet behind this flap and behind this one so that they match up, and it will hold it shut. That way I don't have to use a ribbon or anything real bulky, because, you know, there's not a lot of leeway between these pages, so I don't want to get them real bulky to where it balloons out like it's out of control. So that's how you fold that one, and I will be back and I will show you the finished project. Then we have this page, which also will have a pocket, and then the back side, and then we'll be ready to put it in the book. Alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, I am ready to show you the piece that's going to go on the inside of the back cover. I have added my background papers to the front and the back covers. This little piece is going to sit off center, and it's going to be a little expandable pocket. I'm going to offset it and add some other elements around it, which I haven't picked out yet, but I wanted to show you how to create this little folder. So what we have is two pieces. This first one is 7 by 3 1/2, and it is scored 3 times very close together, like 1/8 of an inch apart, from 2, 2 1/8, and 2 1/4, and that just kind of allows it to roll up here at the top, so that when you add your pockets, you have a little extra space. And this little piece is going to fit in here. Now, actually, it goes like this, with the taller piece on the inside, like that, so that you have an overlap, and we're going to use these little circles to close it with a string. And I've cut a piece of the design paper for the flap and a piece for down here, and that's what's going to go in there. So let's glue these two together, and I have inked them with Vintage Photo, and I am going to add my glue to this flap here, And I'm going to put it just above the score line, just a hair. And line up my sides so that it's nice and straight. Now when I glue it to the page, I'm just going to glue 3 sides, and I want to be able to put a tag in here. So in order to keep things from getting caught on that, I am going to put a little piece of tape back there so it has a smooth transition when you're sliding something through. And just regular old Scotch tape will do. It doesn't have to be a great big piece of packing tape. Piece of Scotch tape, I didn't get it long enough, but that'll keep it from catching on that edge. Just like that. Okay. So for the inside, what we have is 3 little pockets that are going to make an expandable folder, and I just dropped one of them on the ground. So you'll need 3 pieces that are 6 3/4, actually 6 5/8 by 3. Let me go ahead and attach these so I don't lose them. I'll go ahead and glue these down so I don't knock everything on the floor, which I'm good at doing. So we've just got a very small margin on here. Turn that over and burnish it down. And this piece goes here. Let's see if it's this way. Okay. This paper is so pretty. It's got the prettiest colors in it. Let's flatten it out. Okay, that'll take care of that. And we can lay that aside. Isn't that cute? So cute. Alright, for our little pockets, I put one of them together, and the way they're going to go in here is down here like this, and that way you'll have a margin here on the side. I hadn't planned on putting any design paper behind it, I don't really, but you know, maybe I should. I might. I'm going to give it some thought. Anyway, I'm going to put my pin back here. It just looks kind of plain to me now that I look at it. Okay. So what we want to do, get rid of this top piece here. We want to score at 3 inches. And I'm going to fold it under. Burnish it, and then bring it around to this side and get just past that, just a hair, so I don't hit the, I want to be just outside of that edge so that I have a nice fold without any bulk. Okay, and then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, which is going to be 2.5 if you do it on this side, or 1/2 on the other. Whichever one you want to do it is fine. And we're going to burnish that under. Oops. Oh, I should have cut it 3.5. What a dummy. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, scrap that measurement I gave you. I had to change it. It was my own fault. But anyway, this is how they'll turn out, and you'll have 3 of them. There's 2. And I changed the measurements on your cut list so you'll have it right. So when you score it, you're going to score at 3 and 6 1/8, and then you'll have a 1/2 inch left over, so that when you fold it, you'll have a 1/2 inch to turn under on the inside. Okay, so now what we want to do is on this little 1/2 inch, we want to cut out this little square here, because we don't need that, and I'm going to angle cut it. We don't need that. And we can angle this a little bit, just so we don't have any overhang. And then on this back side piece, we're going to angle it, and we're going to take it all the way out. Lay this aside. So we're going to fold it under, and fold that under, that tab, and we're going to burnish it real nice. And then we will have this to fold up. And see, I didn't cut enough off. So let me trim that up again. Oh, I see what I did. I didn't get the... You want to cut out the scored line, so you don't have all that bulk. And if you take a little extra off, it isn't going to hurt, because this is going to fold over it and cover it. There we go. Now we'll have a nice edge. And let's hope that matches up. Voila, it does. Yippity-doo. So let's glue this one down. I'm going to put glue on this 1/2 inch. And fold this over. Burnish that. Now we'll put some glue on here. And we'll burnish that down. Now lay your other one over the top of it. And you can take your pencil and trace your notch to make sure you get it in the same place. And then just take your little punch. Oh, I used this one. Make sure I use the same punch. And just put it over your mark. Punch that out. Then I want to ink it. Okay. Now these three are going to attach together like that. So we just want the glue down the middle. And I'm just going to put it a little bit past the notch and not all the way to the bottom. And stack this one on top of it. Match up your notches. It's not a perfect match, but it's close. And then the same way with this one. And don't go all the way to the bottom, because you want it to be able to separate when you open it out. It needs a little room to move there. And this one goes on top of that. And I'm going to put some clothespins on it just for a few minutes. And I will show you how I do these little circles in case you haven't done it before. Most people probably have, but I always stack two of them together. And let me get a scratch. Here's a scratch piece of paper. I always take a small hole punch and punch my little hole for the eyelet first. And then I take, where's my little, oh there it is, small punch. This is a 3/4 of an inch. And just kind of center it. Doesn't have to be perfect, but get it as close to center as you can. Eyeballing it and punch that out. And then you want to stack 2 of them together and ink them. And that's how I get those. To me, it's harder if you cut the circle first and then try to get the middle. It's almost always off center. At least for me it is. You don't need to cover this one because your little folder is going to be attached there. And I have a piece to cover up that brad. I decided to go ahead and cut something for the inside. I just felt like it looked too naked. Okay. There's that. And that'll cover up our little brad. Okay, these should be together now. So what we want to do is attach this inside here. And it needs to be up just a little bit from the bottom. So again, we're going to put the glue in the same area. And center it as best you can. That way you'll have a little edge at the top and a little bit at the bottom. And again, I'm going to clamp it down just for a few minutes. And once it dries, then I'll put glue on the back of here and fasten it to the inside. And that will be your little expandable folder. And this will close down. I might have needed to put that down farther. It's kind of close. Yeah, it is. It's pretty close. It's too late now. Darn it. I should have put that one down farther. But, you know, maybe if I push this up a little bit there, I might be able to make that work so they don't overlap. I should have got it down farther is what I should have done. But, you know, you live and learn. You'll learn from my mistakes and you won't do the same thing I did. Okay, let's take those off. But most mistakes can be fixed without too much trouble. So we're going to do the same thing. And we're just going to close it up like that. And we probably could have put more than 3 in there, actually. But I didn't want it to get too bulky inside the album because it's not a really big album. So I think that's going to work. And then I'll tie my string on here. So there you go. That's it. So you'll see the finished project. See it when I do the walkthrough. And I want to show you, let me lay this aside, what I've done so far on the inside. Actually, the pages are done, but I want to explain to you. Okay, we'd already done this one. I need to make, put a photo or something in there. And we'd done this one. I need to make an insert for this. It's still got a scrap in it. We did these together. Oh, I know where I didn't give you all the right information on this, because I believe I just gave you the size before I folded it up, but I put it on your cut list because it is the height of the back and this, and then by the length or the width. However, anyway, it's the total thing, and then I showed you how to score it. But I think when I told you the measurements, I just gave you this. But it actually has to include this because this is just folded. And it is folded at, I think, 4 inches. I'm not sure. Let me get a ruler. No, it's not 4. It's 3 3/4. And I folded at 3 3/4. Did my score lines at, and I think I told you that in the tutorial earlier, at 3 1/2 and 7, yeah. And then I put my notches in it, folded this edge under, and then I glued these and then made my tags. So that was that. And I just stuck a couple of graphic 45 tags under here. I haven't done anything with them yet. And then on the back, this was where the 2 photo mats went. I added a little texture paste here with some polka dot stencil I had. Things keep sticking to my arm. Got too much stuff on this desk. And then in this pocket, I found this on the internet, the barbershop prices. And then this one also on the internet, free, on a little clipboard, and I just mounted it on some teal cardstock. And then I gave you the dimensions for this one, and I just put a piece of burlap and a little tab punch that I had. And then I had these scissors in my stash that come from Bobbie scraps, and I just hung them on a little clip, and I left it plain for photos and journaling. So that's where I'm at this far. Move that up so I can get this back under there. And then on the back side, I just put a picture of Jackson fishing. You can barely see his little fish. It's almost hiding his face. And these are some free graphics I found online. And then I took, what did I do with it? Some yarn, and I made a little piece of fish. Oh, here it is. I first made this one with some cording that I had, and I like it, but it is so bulky. It's real thick, and it's just going to make my page stand out too much. So I tried to make one with a piece of yarn that wouldn't take so much space. And I think it turned out okay. I'll just have to get it to glue down right. But I wanted to put a couple little fish behind it, like this one peeking out this way. And maybe this one out this way. And I thought that would be cute to kind of fill it up. What do you think? It's kind of cute. I like the other cording better, but it was just too darn thick. So I'm going to try to get that to glue down like that. I don't know. I'm still mulling it over in my mind. I don't know if it looks like fishnet or not. This one looks good. It looks more like the real thing. I should have Donnie cut a chunk off of his. He'd kill me if I cut a hunk off of his fishnet. He loves to fish. Alright. Alright, well, I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I am going to put the fish here. So, I may use the net, I may not. Anyway, that's it. That's it for the tutorial. I will be embellishing the inside of the back cover, adding some other things to it before I put this in there. This should be dry now. And it should open up like that. And you can put little tags in there. some tags out here somewhere. There they are. I actually could have put more in it than that, but it'll loosen up. I've got room for 3 little graphic 45 tags in here. Isn't that cute? You can actually put more than one in each pocket. Well, that's cute. There you go. Alright guys, that's it for the tutorial. I will see you back with a final walkthrough, and I will be doing something very similar on the inside of the front cover. Probably, maybe a little bit larger than this, but this same type of a folder. I wanted to use some larger graphic 45 tags. So, there you go. Alright, I will see you with the final walkthrough, and if you make one, be sure you tag me and let me take a look at yours too. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Okay guys, one more thing to wrap up this tutorial. I changed my mind on the paper I used on the inside of the front cover because I wanted to make another one of those folders for the front. I had this paper in the background and it just blended in too much, so I put the dark green down, and I wanted to give you the dimensions on this one. I cut 2 pieces 5 inches wide, and the top piece is, let me pull up my cut list real quick. Inside front cover. Okay, this top piece is 5 by 9 3/4, and you're going to score it at 2 1/2 and 2 3/4 with the long side at the top. And then the bottom piece is 5 by 7, and you're going to score it at 4 1/2 and 4 3/4. I had to look at my computer. I haven't printed it out yet. Then you're going, so when you cut this 7-inch piece, here is the end of it right here. You're going to have a long portion and a small portion, and you want to attach the small portion to the back just shy of this score line, so that when you fold it up, then you've got your little folder, and you've got a little bit of an overlap, but you don't need a lot. And then I'm going to put this paper on the inside, and I'm going to put this on the front and this on the flap, and I think that'll work well there. And then I've cut out my 2 little circles for here, and I'll put some kind of an embellishment on the front, but I'm not sure just what yet. But I wanted to show you, give you these dimensions as well as the folders that go on the inside. Now, because this is 5 wide, these need to be 4 1/2. So the way I like to do it, I got more junk out here than Carter's got pills. Let me get this off of here. I need to clean this really bad. It's been through the mill the last couple days. So I cut 3 12-inch strips that are 4 and almost 3/4. We'll say 4 3/4, and we can always trim it off at the bottom if we decide it's too much. But I want these to be 4 1/2 from side to side, and I want this to be my outside. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/2. And then I'm going to fold it, keep my edges straight, and then put it back in your scoreboard and move it just a hair so you can score right along the side of that one. Right there. And then we only need a 1/2 inch of this. So I'm going to take my cutting board and I'm going to put this score line on 1/2 inch and cut this off. Oops. I'll catch it with the scissors. It's going to be trimmed off anyway. So we're going to trim these two edges anyway so it doesn't hurt anything. And then to get a measurement for the inside, now remember I've got to score 1/2 inch at the bottom. So let me do that 1/2 inch. No, not here. Hope that don't fall on the ground. So I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to score at 11.5. That'll give me my 1/2 inch. And we're going to taper, miter this corner. Let's fold these under. Want to make sure for height, because I want it to be shy of that. See, it's pretty good. I still think I want a 1/4 inch off of it. So let's say these are 4.5 by 12. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off just to make sure I've got enough clearance at the top. So let's take a 1/4 inch off of that. Oh well. Trim this edge again. And when this folds under and this folds up, we can take this piece out. And go just above your score line. And this will go to the inside. And this will fold up on the bottom. Now let me see what we got. Yes, I like that better because when it stands up, see, it's not so close to the top. And then if your tag sticks out or whatever you put in there, that will be fine. So 4.5 by 12. And then we'll score at 4.5. And I said, yeah, it ends up 4 once you have cut that bottom off. So 4.5 by 12. We're going to score at 4.5. Fold it over. Score again along here. And that'll make your pocket once you trim this out. You score a 1/2 inch at the bottom. Trim off this left section. This is not trimmed good right there. There we go. Now I can trim this again since I fixed that. Then you can ink it and glue it and punch your notch in the center and we'll be ready to put them in the book. So that's all there is to that. And I'm going to try 4 of them, see if 4 will fit. I felt like 3 was, of course the other one was smaller, so 3 was probably okay for that one, but I want to try to get 4 in this one and see if that works. Okay, I will be back with the walkthrough of the final project and you'll see everything completed. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.